Bog? Asked Unit. You said Bog. Oops, wrong devil. Bog is my Bob to deal with, said Newton. Our Bob, said the crew in unison. How do you know? How do you think we go about desecrating the absorber, Newton? Yeah. Asked one of the crew. We will beam up kumbo trees, extract their sap, turn it into waxy, unclean kumbo grease, materialize vats of the stuff in the remains of the Golden Dome after we destroy it, and mix it up with a conventional explosive. The Patanars will then know that they are free. Know that there is no god called Bob, no creation of Patanar in mere seconds. 9 hours later, it was dawn of the Golden Dome. That was the absorber of life forces. On Mutainia, Newton and crew were preparing for their attack. All over the planet, the repeated message was seen and heard on every radio and TV station that those in the area of the absorber had better flee out of danger because although Mutainia was going to destroy it to set them free, they didn't know what would happen when it was destroyed. Discouragement was seen in Newton's eyes when he saw floods of Patanars coming to the absorber, doing the opposite of what he wanted. They believed that if they died at the absorber, they'd go straight to Ramada. With that, Newton tried to tell them to at least wait a few days and ask themselves why Bob, if he really was so powerful, would allow his feeding source to not only be destroyed but desecrated. Still, though, they continued to flood in and circle the absorber. In his throne, Newton looked at Tweedy and said, "No doubt the Holy Helpers are also telling Bob his house is about to be blasted." Newton then said, "How much you want to bet that there really aren't that many true holy helpers down there? You said there were, what, thousands of those things down there? Like the one I fought with? I doubt it. Probably more like a handful. The one who didn't melt into the ground, and the ones who ran off, and the ones that supposedly looked like regular Patanars to spy and inform were, and are no doubt, just sellouts from Patanar, who fell for the afterlife lies of Ramada. But it doesn't matter if there are millions of those things down there like the one I fought. I'm certain that they only exist because the Golden Dome exists. We take that one out. We take that out. We destroy it. They cease to exist. We bury the remains of the Golden Dome in a bunch of unholy kumbo wax, and then the faith in the religion of Ramada crumbles. How can it not? But gad, look at the poor fools coming. Well, hopefully there is no explosion. Hopefully the might of our phaser just takes the life out of Bob, and he dies in trying to keep the shielding on. Hopefully." Newton looked at his crew and said, "You know something? Although incredibly oppressive this thing is, they will still face the absorber, probably all of them. I say we begin the attack before it starts absorbing the energy. Sure it taxes its energy to feed off of theirs, but I bet that if we attack now, maybe it will be weak enough to get through and destroy the structure. Now? Yeah, maybe it'll get through and destroy the structure now." Suddenly, before Newton could carry out an attack on the Golden Dome, the Mutainia crew's eyes widened when their broadcast was interrupted and replaced by a stronger signal. A news report from a city that hadn't been destroyed suddenly showed the face of the same holy helper that Newton fought with when he and his crew beamed down to ask questions about the planet Ramadar. The Holy Helper had a peaceful look on his face. as he said, "O fellow Patamnars, our beloved god Bob was attacked by the demonic Newtin, destroyer of worlds. Newtin came in giant form to destroy merciful Bob, but Bob was, of course, by far the stronger. When Newtin realized he couldn't defeat almighty Bob, he cowardly turned his evil wrath, on one of Patamnar's cities, a city that was showing disobedience toward Bob. Bob tried to stop him, in spite of the city's wickedness, as this video footage shows. But apparently, the evil, cowardly Newtin then felt the need to call down the power of his ship Mutainia to destroy the city, using his fury on Bob to bring about the horrible destruction you see. Newtin was actually using our own God's ability to reanimate, to destroy that beautiful city and its inhabitants. But fear not, O fellow Patamnars. Bob will destroy Mutainia as easily as he destroyed its cowardly, demonic Captain Newtin today. Observe how Bob shrank Newtin up in the fight to the point where he easily stepped on him. No doubt it was Bob saying, "Be small," and Newtin was. Newtin just stood there, shaking with near insane anger. Why, that evil, lying sack of, Newton said with the bulging eyes, Fuyu then said, "According to the holy, worship me or else. One can lie in war. Also, one can lie to friends and to one's family." She looked confused and said, "When are you supposed to tell the truth?" Glissa thought and said, "I don't think it ever says." "No, it doesn't." Newton turned toward Obakoba, got control of himself and said, "Obakoba, phasers ready?" "Ah, phasers ready," replied Obakoba, who would do the attacking. "Fire!" roared Newton with a near unspeakable fury.